Hi LEGO fans! It's Thursday the 20th of December and Christmas is so close I can almost taste it! Every day between now and Christmas we're opening up every door on every LEGO advent calendar, including LEGO City, LEGO Friends, and LEGO Star Wars. We're also going to be scoring each one of the gifts so we can find out which one has the best gift of the day, and ultimately which calendar is our festive favourite and which deserves to get coal in its stocking. Before we open up today's doors, let's recap on yesterday's gifts. It was another so-so day. Behind door number 19 of the LEGO City Advent Calendar, we got a pair of remote-controlled vehicles. I wasn't a big fan of these, particularly as the concept was a repeat of something they did in 2015. It did occur to me that they resembled motorcycles, but it was only after I released the video that it occurred to me which motorcycles these look like. I'm probably a million miles from the truth, but I thought they looked like the light cycles from Tron Legacy. This is a LEGO Ideas set from earlier in the year. Ultimately, these weren't good enough to impress and they took home 2 points for the LEGO City Advent Calendar. LEGO Friends stayed on the festive path with this gingerbread person Christmas tree decoration. It was okay but not up to the standard we've come to expect from LEGO Friends this year. It also occurred to me after the video that this thing looks unfinished. I had a bit of a panic and thought we hadn't built this correctly. The exposed studs you see on the gingerbread person's arms look like they should have a brown 1x1 tile. I did recheck the instructions just in case, but this is exactly as it's meant to look. In my opinion, incomplete. So I feel perfectly comfortable with the 3 points that I awarded the LEGO Friends Advent Calendar. But the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar was the star of the day with this robotic camel. Okay, it's an AT-ACT, an all-terrain armoured cargo transport and not an AT-AT. It's basically an AT-AT on steroids used for moving heavy building materials and combat munitions. I wasn't a fan of the big orange sides, which seemed a little bit gaudy to me. But in fairness, depending on which pictures of the AT-ACT you look at, sometimes they do have orange sides like this. But ultimately it wasn't enough to stop me showering the AT-ACT with 5 points, making the LEGO Star Wars gift the gift of the day. After 2 consecutive days of wins, the Star Wars Advent Calendar is back in contention for the winner of the year. It's in second place with 66 points. The LEGO City Advent Calendar remains in last place with 57 points. And LEGO Friends holds the lead by just 1 point. They're at 67 points. But as we open up the last 5 doors on every LEGO Advent Calendar, there's everything to play for. So what are we waiting for? Our first calendar for Thursday the 20th of December is the LEGO City Advent Calendar. So let's take a look inside door number 20 and see what we've got today. We have, it's a little, what would you call that? It's like an excavator. It's got one of these kind of picks on the front there, got some tracks. That's quite a cool little thing. The second calendar today is LEGO Friends and door number 20. Initially I wasn't sure what yesterday's gift was, but we established eventually it was a gingerbread man. So let's go ahead and see what kind of festive goodness we've got behind door number 20. And what have we got here? We have an icicle. And finally for December 20th, we've got the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar. I was particularly pleased to open the door yesterday and find an AT-AT inside. Except of course it was an AT-ACT, which is apparently an all-terrain armoured cargo transport. So the big question is what's behind door number 20 today, and we shall reveal the joy within. Okay, so we have some kind of ship. I don't immediately recognise that, but I will figure it out and will reveal all later in the video. So here are all 3 gifts we got inside every door number 20 of every LEGO Advent Calendar today. From the LEGO City Advent Calendar we got this micro-scale excavator build complete with jackhammer attachment. I did call this an icicle, but in reality it is a snowflake from the LEGO Friends Advent Calendar. And from the LEGO Star Wars calendar we got this super exciting Zeta-class cargo shuttle. How exciting! So with all 3 gifts liberated from their calendars and built, we need to award some points and find a winner of the day. But before we do, let's take a quick look at each gift. This tiny little excavator caught my eye when I saw it on the front of the LEGO City Advent Calendar. I think they showed it as a Christmas gift in a shop window. For something that's made from only about 12 LEGO elements, this is actually a really nice little thing. We have a couple of Technic elements standing in for the tracks on each side of the build. There's a smoky transparent cheese slope for the driver's cab, and a grey stud up on top for the exhaust system. The designers kept it really simple for the excavator arm, and it has just 1 point of articulation. We can move the arm up and down. At the very top for the jackhammer, we have one of these arrow elements which looks perfect. This is the same element that was used for Yondu's golden arrow in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 set. The excavator isn't particularly functional, and apart from being a Christmas toy, it's not very festive, but it's got a real charm to it and I really like this thing. What I don't enjoy is filming white objects against a white background, so hopefully you can see this well enough to appreciate all of the detail. This is a Christmas tree decoration and it's designed to be hung from a tree, but needless to say LEGO Friends didn't give us any string. It left me no choice but to build a little stand to help with filming. You don't get any of the LEGO bricks you see on the back inside the calendar. It's a pretty simple little build made up of 4 foliage elements, and those are sandwiched together by these white elements on the back and also on the front, and there's a trans blue dish there to make it a little bit more decorative. Apart from that, we have some trans blue studs, and that makes a pretty little snowflake. It might not be the best thing we've seen from the LEGO Friends Advent Calendar, and I'm sure it would look a lot better on a green Christmas tree than on my white background. Finally, from the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar, we have another boring grey ship. This is a Zeta-class heavy cargo shuttle, and it's the kind of ship used by the Empire to build stuff. This type of ship, for example, was used to carry kyber crystals during the construction of the Death Star. I find it interesting that we also have a flash of orange on this ship. We saw that yesterday with the AT-ACT, and I wonder if that signifies that both vehicles are being used for construction purposes. There's a flight deck at the front made out of a 1x1 transparent stud, and on either side of the ship we have a blaster cannon. The wings have an interesting configuration, and presumably these fold down during flight. Apart from that, this is a reasonably good micro-scale build of a Zeta-class cargo shuttle. If you're into Galactic Empire cargo shuttles, you might like this. So we have 3 very different gifts today. I don't think any of these are going to make it into my top 3 for 2018, but we do have to declare a winner of the day and distribute 10 points among these gifts. So let's do that! I honestly don't think anybody who bought the LEGO Friends Advent Calendar is going to be disappointed with today's gift. It's a pretty little thing, it's got some nice transparent blue elements, and when you hang it from a bright green Christmas tree, I'm sure it's going to look amazing. But in my eyes, it's a little bit boring and a little bit predictable. I'm not feeling the love for this today, and I'm going to give the LEGO Friends Advent Calendar 2 points. It's a similar story with the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar. The Zeta-class cargo shuttle is a nice enough thing, it's just not going to be the best thing that comes in the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar. This craft did make an appearance in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and that was almost a Star Wars film. Because this build isn't terrible, and the film wasn't too terrible, I'm going to give the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar 3 points today. Has anybody been keeping score? So the winner today with 5 points is the LEGO City Advent Calendar with this cool little micro-scale excavator. I like this because it looks really cool, and it reminds me of a LEGO Technic pneumatic excavator I received for Christmas about 30 years ago. That means at the end of today's scoring, the LEGO City Advent Calendar is still in last place with 62 points. But up at the top, things are changing. The LEGO Star Wars calendar now has 69 points, and the LEGO Friends calendar also has 69 points. So LEGO Star Wars and LEGO Friends are in joint first place. That's an interesting position to be in with only 4 doors left to open. But how would you score these gifts? Was my reception of the LEGO Friends Snowflake Christmas tree decoration too frosty? Could the Zeta-class heavy cargo shuttle have carried itself into first place? Or perhaps you think I dug too deep when I gave the LEGO City Excavator 5 points? Do feel free to get involved by sharing your thoughts in the comment section below. And to let YouTube know whether you enjoyed today's video, either leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either works by me. Tomorrow, on the 21st of December, we finally reach the last Friday of Advent. I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to the weekend and super excited to open up door number 24 on Monday. I will be back tomorrow with every door number 21 on every LEGO Advent Calendar. So thanks a million for joining me today, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow.